Welcome everyone to our weekly Team Beat call. I'm super excited to host tonight and to welcome a good friend, Courtney. I'm going to start with her bio. Courtney was born and raised in Tempe, Arizona. She grew up being a competitive dancer and cheerleader, but was always a chemistry and math geek at heart. She also had a passion for serving others. So she thought pursuing a pharmacy career would be the best fit for her. Courtney earned her Doctor of Pharmacy degree from the University of Arizona and has been a pharmacist for 14 years. She currently resides in North Phoenix with her husband, Doug, and loves to work out, travel, shop, and go out to fun restaurants with her family and friends. Courtney joined the Juice Plus company 2 years ago, and she and her team achieved Senior Sales Coordinator in February, all while working her full-time job of 45 to 55 hours per week. Woohoo, Courtney! So, Courtney, go ahead, tell us your story.
All righty. Hey, everybody, how's it going? So, I basically was a person, like Michelle said, was very active, and I was always working out, and I was eating quote unquote healthy. But I was like one of those people who grew up in the low fat stage of the world, and I was just eating carbs all the time, low fat carbs like bagels and rice cakes and rice and vegetables, and that is it. So I grew up basically just being tired all the time, still working out a lot, because if I ate something bad, like if I ate chocolate to keep my energy up, then I would go work it off, and just think that was the way to be healthy, is just go be skinny, work it off, right? And so I just felt like I was always tired. I always wanted to take a nap, and I had cystic acne. I had cystic acne when I was in high school, so that's super embarrassing. And I also had this extra layer of baby fat or extra layer of fluff on me. But what I didn't know was also what was going on inside of me. I actually had a very high cholesterol. I, at a young age, had an LDL cholesterol of 172. And if you guys know that a cholesterol, an LDL we want it to be less than 100. So I had the arteries of a 48-year-old when I was young and in my 20s. And so basically I just started to, I just wanted to not go on medication, because as a pharmacist, I knew that going on medication was the wrong thing to do. I did not want to get all the side effects that I knew people got from all these medications. I know that's so weird, right? I'm a pharmacist and I give all these drugs to these patients, but I will not take them myself. So there was a little bit of conflict of interest there. So anyways, I did lower my cholesterol a little bit, probably to like 165, not much, right? So then a good friend of mine, and you guys all know her, Kim Barker, she introduced me to Juice Plus. And at first I was like, no, I really don't need it. I actually said no for a year, you guys. Said no to the product for a year because I'm a pharmacist. I know everything. I know that I know that this was just like every other multivitamin out there, right? Wrong. We all know that. So she invited me to see Dr. Sears. She invited me to see Dr. Du Bois. I even said no to the products after seeing them. You know what sold it for me was going to see Dr. David Phillips. And you guys have all seen Dr. David Phillips speak, I imagine. He is absolutely amazing, and he spoke to me. And so he was saying that, what we all know is that, yes, a lot of athletes eat well. They eat fruits and vegetables, but they don't get the variety that we need. So 30 different fruits and vegetables, think about what that can do in your body. So that really spoke to me, because I was doing that. I was eating and juicing the same 4 or 5, 6 different vegetables a day and fruits a day. So I knew that I needed to just try this. So I tried it. I kid you not, the night that I took the Juice Plus, I went to bed at 9 o'clock because I had to be on a trip the next day. I woke up at midnight wide awake, not insomnia, but I was in my kitchen, like cooking and baking and all that kind of stuff in the middle of the night. And I had so much energy after taking my first dose of capsules. And after that, I just continued to have a lot of energy. I actually used to have migraines, so my migraines are gone. My cystic acne has gone away, if you guys can tell that. And then also, I don't have constipation and irritable bowel syndrome like I used to. So that is what helped me. As far as the business goes, again, I got on the product, but I said no to Kim for a year with the business. But one time I remember I was like, you know what? I could get into this business just to get my products for a lower price because I am a believer in the product. So I'm just going to get it at a discount. So I was like, okay, for a couple of months, I did get it at a discount. But then I went to an event and Sarah Beardmore was there. And you guys all know Sarah. She asked me, well, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I was like, that's a good question. Because as a pharmacist, I was standing every day, all day, for how many hours a day? 10 hours a day. I was dispensing medications to people that were not getting any better. And these people were always getting on more medications to combat those side effects from their original medications. So 10 medications a month turned into 15 medications a month, turned into 20 medications a month. They never got better. There is this one story that are you guys all familiar with Accutane in Canada? Is that in Canada? Okay, so it is in Canada too. So Accutane, I had a trainer guy who, he was in his 30s and I was in my 20s at the time. He took in whey protein. So we all know what whey protein does to us. It causes acne. And so he came in and he got on Accutane for his acne. And so he took it for a couple months and he developed irreversible chronic nerve pain, meaning that after taking that medication, he got nerve pain that never went away. So in order to combat that nerve pain, he had to be put on methadone, Duragesic patches, like fentanyl patches. He was put on OxyContin. He was put on morphine injections. He was put on Lyrica. You know, there's a lot of gamut of medications that he was put on, and they turned into 10, 15 medications because he was put on Accutane for acne. So how do you think I felt as a pharmacist? I gave this guy this medication and look what happened to him. So I was totally defeated and I got into pharmacy to help people and I actually just made them worse. Okay. So, you know, I kept on going for the next few years. I kept on being a pharmacist. And when Sarah asked me, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? I was like, you know what? I love this product and I know that it can prevent disease. Why not get into the business of preventing and helping people instead of hurting people all the time? So that's what actually got me into the business, is just that one question that Sarah asked me is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do I see myself standing in a pharmacy all day? No, I don't. Do I see myself hurting people all day? No, I don't. So that's what got me there, and that's where I've been, and that's where I'm staying for now. I am still a pharmacist. I work from home though for a different company, and that's how I've been able to work my business and do Juice Plus at the same time. Yes, do I work 45 to 50 hours a week? Yeah, I do. But it's sitting at a desk all day, so I'm trading hours for dollars. And my paycheck doesn't go up like our Juice Plus paycheck does. It actually stays pretty darn stagnant. And it's not going to go up anymore, I can tell you that. So I think I've gotten everything covered in there. And if I don't, then you'll probably ask and I can tell you guys then.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Courtney. Thank you so much for sharing. Before I open it up to questions, I have a question for you, Courtney. And so a lot of you may or may not know, but Courtney actually was number 2 in Arizona for 2016 year to date, having the most customers in the US. That is like huge. And she's number 7 for West Coast region year to date. So my question is, Courtney, what is your secret to getting so many customers?
Well, you know, Nicole always says it's a numbers game, right? So yeah, it's a numbers game. However, what I do is, like, when I see people on Facebook, I'm scrolling and stuff, but I'm actually I have the intention of getting names down. And then if I haven't talked to somebody for a while, I actually reach out to them and I say, hey, how are things going? And I just strike up a conversation with somebody that I haven't talked to in a long time. And it's basically just creating that relationship. Hey, how's it going? I love seeing your pictures of your new baby. She's so darn cute. You know, what's going on with you? And I just, we'll start a conversation that way. And then I play ping pong. So she'll reply back to me. Maybe she'll ask me how I'm doing. And then, like, I'll reply back, and then I'll ask another question. So it's basically ping pong back and forth, asking questions. Make sure that I'm asking a question so they always reply back to me. So that's been huge in obtaining customers. And then also, when I'm out and about, I pretty much smile and say hi to everybody. And I've met so many people at the grocery store. I've met so many people on planes. I've met so many people at parties. Like, I know that sometimes some of us, like, if we go to parties, we're like, oh, we're not working our business. We feel guilty. But if we have intention when we're out at parties, then that's awesome. So just, so that's my recommendation, to do that. And huge, huge, huge for me is that, when I am talking to people, I go for no. Like, have you guys all read that book, Go for No? Good, because I usually do. Like, if I'm texting with somebody and I haven't, and like I am asking them, hey, did you get a chance to watch that video? Hey, if I hadn't heard back from them in the next couple of days, hey, have you had a chance to watch that video? Hey, have you had a chance to watch that video? I'm persistent because I'm wanting to go for no. And like, sometimes if someone hasn't gotten back to me, I'm like, hey, just let me know if you are or not. If you are interested or you're not interested, because I don't want to, waste your time. And I know my time is valuable as well. Just let me know either way. And typically when I say that, if I'm going for that no, then they'll come back and say, oh yes, I'm so sorry. I've been so busy this week. I want to get started on the product. So I'm always just persistent at going for no. That was huge for me. Another thing is also is letting go of the outcome. If I am talking to people and I am so set on the fact that they are or aren't going to order from me, I think they can kind of sense it. You know how that vibe we give off is huge. So that's what I do. I try and just not have people, or I just try not to give that vibe. I just say, you know what, here's the information. I've educated you. And basically it's, are you in or you out? And I think that is how people are like, okay, yeah, I do want to try it. It doesn't sound like you're pushing it on me. It sounds like you're very passionate about it, and I do want to give it a try. So that is something that I do on a regular basis. Okay, so Nikki asks, what are your tips for fitting GAP in when you work so much? Having a DMO is huge for me. When I'm working, I am very lucky that I can put something on, like training videos, or I can put on Eric Worre, I can put on Nicole, whoever it is. I can actually take time while I'm working to listen to personal development stuff. So that's how I get that in. And if you don't have that time that's available to you, then I would suggest in your car or while you are cleaning, put your headphones in and and listen to it then. It's a lot of that subliminal stuff over and over again can really help our mindset. And then as far as setting split fitting time in for JP when I work so much as well is making sure that I have a set number of people that I do want to reach out to. And sometimes I reach out to 2 people a day, sometimes more, sometimes less, but I just have it in my schedule for that I want to do it that week, like maybe 10 people a week or something like that. It's not a high number. I do usually do more, but it's just a number that I'm picking. So I just make sure that I have that in my plan for the week that I'm going to do. I also make sure that I have set a time. I've set time aside where there's no interruptions that I can do customer care. And then I also set aside times where I am talking with my team and setting up meetings with my team, new team members, etc. So I do basically schedule a lot of time, like schedule my week the week before, if possible. Like all my appointments that I've set up to meet with prospects, I have those set up a week or 2 in advance. And so I just have everything ready to go. As soon as I finish work at 2:30, I have my schedule set. Does that help, Nikki? Okay, awesome. How do you find new prospects beyond the occasional new person we meet? Another thing that I've done is that if I've heard this from somebody, and I don't know who it is that said this, but if you're looking on Facebook and you see that you have over 10 mutual friends with somebody that's not in Juice Plus, friend them, because then they'll probably friend you because they see that you're mutual friends with 10 people. And I did that, and that seems to help as well. I just actually had a meeting with a girl tonight who I've never met, but we were mutual friends with about 15 to 20 people because she goes to a boot camp that I used to go to. So I'm still friends with the people from that boot camp, and she actually attends it now. And so she actually, and I didn't say anything to her for a long time. I friended her, and I had her, and she was following me on Facebook. She was seeing a lot of my posts, and she asked me about one of my Shred 10 posts. And so then I gave her a bunch of information. She hadn't really been interested at the time to actually do it, but I'm on a mission to recruit 20 and 30, and I'm on a mission to recruit people. So she was actually she was one of the first people that I thought of because she is working out a lot at the boot camp that I went to, et cetera. So it was really a great thing for me to hear, to just friend these people that I had never met, but but we're mutual friends. And like, there's some people like in high school that I hadn't been friends with on Facebook. I don't know how it turned out that way, but I just started friending a bunch of people that I knew from Facebook or knew from high school on Facebook that are kind of now interested in stuff. So it's just like always finding new people to friend that way. And then also, John Halawadi says, when you have your customers or you have your people that you're talking to, he says to ask the question, who do you know that I should know? Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Who do you know that I should know? So you can ask for referrals. You can ask for, if you're not interested in, it's basically, if you're not interested in joining us, who do you know that that might be? Or who do you know that's like awesome out there that might be wanting to get to know me or that I should know? Does that help, Andrea? Okay.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Courtney, you would say that every conversation you have would not necessarily be just about Juice Plus, right? Like you're trying to build a relationship and maybe have a conversation, just a general conversation with anybody, just to kind of attract them to you and maybe what you're doing.
Yep, exactly. And I ask a lot of questions. Basically, I just kind of am interested in them. Try not to pry, a lot, but, just general questions, and then just being genuine and they can see that we are heartfelt people because that's who we are.
Yeah, I agree. That's awesome. Does anybody else have any questions they would like to ask Courtney? You can either unmute yourself or write a question in the chat. Wow. You've answered everyone's questions already. That's pretty cool.
You're like, I don't know.
I doubt it. That's a good call.
What's that?
Get a call and say, oh, I should have asked that.
That's cool. That's cool too. You can always contact me. Because I know that I do the same thing when I'm on a meeting like this or someone's speaking. I never have questions because I'm like, oh, they answered everything. But then I think about it 10 minutes later. I'm like, oh yeah, I should have asked that.
Absolutely. So I guess the message is to just talk to way more people, right? Like yep. That is really what it is.
Yep. Smile and talk to more people. That thing that Nicole put out a few weeks ago about how she reaches out to people over Facebook and groups and stuff. I did that just last week. I got 3 people that were interested in information. I don't know how it's going to turn out again, but I did get that, which was pretty cool. Just because I saw some people in a group that were having some pain of some kind, or they were looking for information about something. So I just messaged them and say, hey, I'm not sure if you're interested. Just basically what Nicole taught us, which was cool. One thing that John Halawadi said to us too is that, yeah, Lena, I will answer that for sure. John Halawadi says that when he is reaching out to people in groups, like if he's wanting people to join his business, he won't bring up Juice Plus right away. He'll like say he brings up this example. If they're in a group and somebody posted about their favorite hamburger that they had this past weekend or something, and he'll just be like, hey, I liked your post about that hamburger that you talked about, and then he'll just start a conversation with them and play ping pong with them, go back and forth. He will build relationships with those people on Facebook that he doesn't know first before bringing up Juice Plus or bringing up the business and stuff. But he's more business oriented in looking for people on Facebook rather than product oriented in looking for pain. So that's something else that we can take with us too. Lena says, just to clarify, you do JP outside of the pharmacy. You don't have it in the pharmacy. That is correct. I don't do Juice Plus in the pharmacy. I actually don't work in an actual pharmacy anymore. I work from home, so everything that I do for Juice Plus is outside the pharmacy. There are people that I am friends with that that were my patients that I just, we're friends with outside of pharmacy that are on the products, but that's about it. I know that some people who are in a pharmacy, they're always like, I wonder what I should say. I think that like if there is somebody in a pharmacy, they can, and someone is genuinely interested in nutrition or genuinely interested in something that's going to help them, that's quote unquote over the counter, you could probably have a conversation with them and say, hey, look, this is something that is not associated with this company at all. And you could say something like, this has nothing to do with work. It has nothing to do with this company at all, just to kind of separate yourself out of it. And then they can say something like, if you provide me with your number, if you jot your number down on a piece of paper and hand it to me, I may have something that you would be interested in. I cannot look it up in the computer. That's against HIPAA violation. I cannot take down your information on a piece of paper. You'll have to write it down on a piece of paper and hand it to me. So that is something that I know some other people have done, whether it be pharmacists or physical therapists or other healthcare providers, nurses, etc.
That's great. Awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Anybody else? Well, we're just about at the 9:30 mark where our team call ends. I'd like to thank you, Courtney, for doing the call for us tonight. I learned some great information. I mean, I know we do chat as well, and I message you every so often for US tips because Courtney's in the US, so their system is a little different, so I'll message her every so often. But anyways, thank you so much again. Appreciate you joining us and taking the time.
You're welcome.
If you guys want to unmute and thank Courtney, that's totally cool. And up to you. And if not, thanks everybody for joining.
Thank you, Courtney.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.